you actually turn that off, that's what actually turns that off there. So now what this is going to do, if you look at this little knob here, this rotates. As you crank it down, the signal went down one.
Oh, okay.
What that is, that's a booster built into the actual antenna for you. The best way I do to tell people to do with it, get it down as low as you can, then use this knob to rotate it around to find your signal. Once you find your signal, find like obviously the most dots. Once you find the most dots, crank this back up. Now you have 4 bars, so that way like it helps a lot when if you're at a place you can only find 1 or 2 bars. If you only find 2, you crank that up and you can back up to 4. Obviously, if you have 4 bars to begin with, it really doesn't do much. But when you have a very low signal, that's going to help you out quite a bit. So that's all controlled all from right here for you. And the latches back up, you just pop it back in place, and it locks back down for you.
Now, if I replace, that's just a LCD TV, right?
Yeah, that's just a standard LCD.
Because I ended up getting a 28-inch smart TV.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to throw in there, but
okay, yeah,
shouldn't be too difficult.
It shouldn't be too difficult to change out. One thing I would worry about is just make sure, obviously, make sure it's a lighter weight TV. Obviously, 4Ks and the newer TVs are usually going to be pretty lightweight for you, and shouldn't have an issue if you can hold this guy. Just obviously make sure it's around the same weight as this.
All right.
Just because they say it's usually the size for like the actual like size of the screen that matters, but it's usually the weight that matters more.
Really?
So just make sure you watch that it's going to around the same weight, so that way you don't have to worry about it, overweighting this down and then bending it down and then all of a sudden breaking on the wall. So you do have a couple of remotes right down there. The big remote is going to be the remote for this TV. The little remote is going to be the remote for the DVD player and radio down there for you. Your sink here. This is currently running off the water pump, so there's some pretty decent pressure with that pump and everything. It does have a sprayer as well as a faucet. And as you see, there's RC going out, so hot water's heating up quick for you. This does pull down for you to be able to do your dishes too. So. And then for travel, these are meant to just sit right where they are for travel. Sit just like that, and that's where they stay. Usually, they're supposed to stay just like that. If you notice that they're bouncing around and falling out or anything like that, what I usually recommend is take like maybe a couple little pieces of Velcro, stick a little side here, a little piece there, just so that way it holds do it on like each corner here, just kind of hold it down a little bit better. Usually you won't really have to worry about it. My parents have the same style in ours, and our fifth wheel, they don't have any issues with it. But in case you do, that's usually what I recommend for it. So then up top here, you have the same style latch. This folds up for you just like that. Nice big amount of storage inside here, dishes, stuff like that for you. So and then it just folds down and latches shut. The light switches right here. You have this vent fan right up top here. That's what's going to turn that on and off. And you have the accent lighting there, and then the overhead lighting for the actual dining room and everything. So your stovetop does have an auto sparker on it too. So all you're going to do, turn it to light, press the burner hand, spark it, and there it goes. Once it's lit, then you can adjust the flame and everything how you want to. Now the cool part with this is it's got a little dot right on the other side of the burner to tell you what it's actually looking at. So all you got to do, a little dot there, just have it facing that, so you want to light, turn it to light, press it in, spark it. That's all there is to it. And then both burners work the exact same way, so the little one does the same thing. So pretty self-explanatory with that. So that's all there is with that. Obviously make sure this is down when you're traveling and everything, because if it's not and it goes down, it slams pretty hard. It's got a nice strong spring in that, so just be careful with that and everything. Your AC on the ceiling here, pretty simple. It does have the cold air dumps right here. Open it up, forces all the cold air out right here, close it back up, pushes it back to the vents in the ceiling. These two guys right here are filters. There's one on either side. Take them out once a season, wash them out with some soapy water, let them dry, put them back in. That's all there is to it. So. Then right next to that is your smoke detector for the camper. That's just a standard 9-volt battery, just like your house. You change it annually just to make sure that battery's always good and you're good to go. So the microwave convection oven is right over here. That's pretty standard there. It's pretty easy to use. The biggest thing with that, if you're using the convection oven portion, have you guys used this style before, like the convection oven style?
We have it, but we've never even used it.
Okay. So if you're using the convection oven portion, take the glass tray and the plastic ring out. If you're using the microwave portion, take the metal rack out.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I will tell you, he does have this on order for you guys right now, because if you look, it's kind of got like scratches a little bit on there. He has a new one on order for you. So
all right, cool.
He's got a new one coming in. And then the button's kind of being a little iffy with that. But he has a new one I'm ordering for you guys coming in, so that way we can get it in for you and everything. Now, the other thing I'll tell you with the convection oven, first of all, I'll be honest, I got my first one for our wedding shower a month ago, so I'm still pretty new with them. They're very easy to use, though. The microwave, all you do, type in your time, hit start, and it microwaves for you. For the convection, you just hit convection, pick your temperature, let it preheat. Once it preheats, put your stuff in there and let it cook. The only difference is you have to adjust your timing. It does cook about 50% faster than a regular convection oven at your house. So obviously,
So you don't use the timer.
Exactly. Usually I tell people, like for ours, we did a baked chicken. It was normally like 25 minutes. We did it in like 15. So it does cook quite a bit faster. So that's the biggest thing to watch out for. Make sure you're not going to overcook stuff. So. Then below that, you have your wardrobe and everything. So pretty easy there. There's a coat rack up on top. You have a starter sewer hose inside there and everything. It's not the nicest one. I would recommend it if you don't already have one, get a newer one. It's a little bit nicer. This is kind of just your basic standard one. But then you have your seat boosters for the front seats and everything.
How do these work on this? Because I know they use the seat backs, right?
These?
Yeah.
No, those are boosters for the front seats. So those are actually, so when the front seats rotate, those are boosters. So that way when you're sitting on those front seats, you're not sitting 2-3 inches off the ground. You're actually sitting like a decent chair.
Yeah, because we're part of a group or whatever, and some people use them as back there too for the lounge.
Oh, gotcha.
But it's not necessarily.
You
Maybe it's not.
They're not technically made for it. I mean,
Right.
there's nothing really to do with them for that. I mean, you can use them for that though. It's not a problem.
Speaking of the thing, or using those, I know some of them have the slot there for the table. The other, and somebody told me that Winnebago might, if I get a hold of them, they might do like a free build. That's what one of the other people were saying. Would that if they did like a free build, would that go through them, or would that be something like they would send to you guys to do?
That is something that I would say talk to them about it and see. They would probably want to send you to just like one of their dealers to do it.
Gotcha.
I mean, you can talk to one of our service writers about having that done, but they would probably just do the exact same thing. They would probably go through to Winnebago, contact them, and see if that's something they can do. And then
Gotcha.
with you. I would say call Winnebago first and see if that is something they offer. Because I want you guys to call up here and wait for us to go through Winnebago to find out that maybe your model doesn't offer it or something like that. So I would say call Winnebago first, and then if they say that it is something that can be done, have them say like, hey, I want to bring it to General RV, or do you guys recommend a different dealer, or whatever. And do it. That's what I recommend.
Sounds good.
So, but that's all there is inside here. You do have your propane and carbon monoxide detector down on the floor down there.
All right.
That's wired into those batteries underneath the stair there.
All
All you have to do with that is just make sure that you always keep that battery charged up. That will always stay good for you if you do. So that's all there is down there. Here, your sink and everything right here, just pretty much a standard sink, hot and cold on that, just like the kitchen sink and everything. This is just gonna be your vanity mirror or vanity light and everything. You have all your storage inside here. There's a couple little tester packets for toilet chemicals and stuff like that. So that way you have some in here, but it's only enough for pretty much a couple of weeks or so. So you have one of your 110 plugs here, towel rack for the bathroom. So it's just like that. Bathroom's pretty tight, but it's pretty simple. You have your shower door here. One thing I will tell you with that, be careful with it because it does slam pretty hard if you do not have a good grip on it. I've scared customers in the past doing it. Basically all you do is you push in, that releases it, but it has a pretty strong spring to it, so it can slam pretty hard if you don't. So that's the biggest thing I'll tell you with that, is just make sure you have a good grip on it when you release it. And here, same thing with the lights, dim or full, totally up to you. Up top, you have your vent fan. The switch turns it on. This opens and closes your actual vent for you. So try not to run the fan with the vent closed. It's not good for it. Obviously, there's no way to push the air out, so it's just going to kind of mess up the fan a little bit. You also have a water pump switch right inside here to turn the water pump on and off. And your toilet is a pedal flush. You push half it on the pedal to fill the bowl up, all the way down, dumps the bowl out. That's probably all pretty simple. That's pretty much it. Again, that hasn't changed in probably 10 years of campers, so it's probably exactly what you guys had the last one. So,
Ma'am, are you going to show us this TV and how it works?
inside here, pretty simple again. Bed, normal there. You do have the lights up top there. The buttons on them turn them on and off to the blue or off. If you hold the button on there, it turns them white for you. So that way you have reading lights or you have little night lights there. And the lights here